Ladies, I am here tonight on this show. And tonight, we're going to talk about these playoff games, man, that went down tonight, man. The two playoff games between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. And then we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight on a freaking Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. First, talk about the Philadelphia Eagles beating the freaking Philadelphia Eagles beating the New York Giants 38-7. Man, this game, I did not see this coming. I think many people thought it was going to be a close game. I had the Eagles winning maybe like 24-21. Um, man, this was crazy, man. What happened, man? It felt like a Georgia, Alabama playing like a I don't know, like a UCLA, and UCLA's offense and defensive line just couldn't go up against the bigger and stronger Georgia, Alabama offense and defensive line. They just pushed them the whole game. I thought, man. I believe Eagles rushed for like 268 yards. It's just flat out crazy, man. I mean, they punched them in the mouth right away. Dallas, same thing with Jalen Hurts right away showing up the arm that it was 100% or at least close to 100% with that big bomb right away, man. And after that, they just got rolling, man. Dallas Goedert with the touchdown 7-0. Then they scored another one with Devontae Smith going 14-0. Then again, they got another one with the running back Boston Scott 21-0. They went into halftime winning 28-0. From then, the game was pretty much over. You know, the Giants only got on the board 27, and then the Eagles put up 10 more in the fourth quarter to close it out 38-7. Um, but yeah, man, the Eagles, man, they just did whatever the hell they wanted, especially offensively. And the Giants, yeah, they had no answer. Especially with the running game, man. Whether it was Gainwell, Boston Scott, Miles Sanders, they had no answer for the running game. That's what killed them and set up everything else. I thought too with that big bomb Jalen Hurts started the game off. I thought that like opened up the run game too because like the safeties were like shit. He actually does have that deep ball, so right away they had to probably back down and not being able to stack the box with like 8 or 9 guys. So I think that was maybe a good strategy, maybe by the head coach Nick Sirianni saying, "Hey, you know what? Let's throw a bomb right away and let's let them know, yeah, the deep ball is there, so they don't feel like, oh yeah, there's no deep ball tonight. It's just gonna be a bunch of think and dunk, and we can just stack the box with 8, 9 man." With right away, Jalen Hurts throwing that deep bomb, it let the Giants know, yep, you better freaking have your safeties back, otherwise you might get burned out, and that completely opened up the running game, and it led to this Philadelphia Eagles whipping them 38-7. Jesus Christ, man. Let's look at some stats in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Hurts completed 16 of 24 throws, 154 yards. He didn't throw a lot. He did have 2 touchdowns, like I said, to Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. Um, and then he also ran for 34 yards and a touchdown. So he didn't put up the greatest of numbers, only 154 passing yards, 34 rushing yards. What a touchdown. Overall, he had 3 touchdowns, 2 on the air, 1 on the ground. But it was just enough, man. He did enough. This game was controlled by the running game, like I said. They ran the ball 45 times for 268 yards. Kenneth Gainwell led the way with 112 yards, 1 touchdown. Miles Sanders had 90. Boston Scott had 32. That was crazy, man. Miles Sanders was 10 yards away from 100 yards, which that would have been both Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell would have both have 100 yards. But these are like pretty much like freaking college stats. Like you have 2 running backs with 90 yards rushing or over. That's just crazy, ladies and gentlemen. As a team, you run for 268 with 3 touchdowns. It's just crazy, man. The Giants just had no answer for the running game, and that was the whole problem tonight for the Giants, man. They just cannot stop the running game, whether it was Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. They just have no answer for that damn running game. The receiving wise, Devontae Smith, 6 catch, 61 yards, 1 touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 5 catches, 58 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Brown, 3 catches, 22 yards. But yeah, man, great game by the Eagles, man. Especially with the offensive line, pushing these running backs, blocking for them. And like I said, Jalen Hurts just did enough to win this game, man. 38-7, and they will be hosting the freaking NFC Championship game, and we'll see how who they play. For the Giants, real quick, Daniel Jones, man, had a really bad game. Completed 15 of 27 passing, 135 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. So he did a good job of outside turning that ball. He didn't turn the ball over that much, but only 135 yards. Jalen Hurts had like 154, but the difference was Jalen Hurts threw freaking 3 or had 3 touchdowns and won the game. This guy lost the game, man. He just couldn't do anything, it seemed like, man. As a team, they did rush for 118 yards. Saquon Barkley led the way with 61. Matt Breida had 23. What a touchdown. Daniel Jones after rushing for 78 last week versus Minnesota, only 24 tonight. But man, they just had nothing, man. Richie James, 7 catches, 51 yards. Outside, I will say it, really nobody else did nothing. Darius Slayton, 1 catch, 4 yards. Daniel Bellinger, 1 catch, 4 yards. The passing game was non-existent. Outside of Saquon Barkley, the running game wasn't that good either. If it's not for Saquon Barkley breaking that, what was it? In the fourth quarter, 39-yard run. They don't even probably run for 100 yards. Like, there's nothing went well for this team, neither defensively or offensively. Freaking Eagles, man. Only 5 sacks though. But the pressure, right? They kept pressuring him. There was a few times he just had to run away from getting sacked. And yeah, I'm sure they'll bring Daniel Jones back next year, but they got to give him more weapons, man. They got to for sure go get him more weapons and for the passing game, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely, we're completely overwhelmed by the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. You could tell they're definitely not ready for this type of game, and they definitely got to go into the offseason and make some additions to this team if they want to continue to improve in the future, ladies and gentlemen. But what a butt whooping, man. 38-7, Philadelphia Eagles, man, advance. Let's go to the next game, ladies and gentlemen, where the Chiefs beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-20, man. This game, the whole theme of this game, the whole story is going to be Patrick Mahomes suffering an ankle injury. One of the Jaguars accidentally ends up like his knee falling right on top of Patrick Mahomes' ankle, causing Patrick Mahomes to have to leave the game, go to the locker room, get it taped up. They're calling it a high ankle sprain, which is really a bad ankle sprain. There's athletes that have missed multiple weeks with this type of injury. It's going to be interesting how the week goes. Hopefully, right away as the game finished, they got him in the training room and started putting ice on it, give it to treatment to avoid as much swelling as possible. I'm sure they'll either tomorrow or Monday they'll have an MRI to make sure there could be at least some. I would say I wouldn't be surprised if there's maybe some tear ligaments in there. He got hit pretty hard, but they're calling it a high ankle sprain, and let's see how he responds. I'm sure he's gonna get a bunch of treatment throughout the week, but I'm sure he'll be questioned almost for the week, and it'll be a huge story. And like I said, with the adrenaline being gone, and it's just gonna at least get swollen a little bit. They're gonna get in the MRI, and let's see what they see in there. I'm assuming he's gonna find a way to play, but it's definitely gonna be a story for most of the week. Is Patrick Mahomes gonna be able to play with that high ankle sprain, ladies and gentlemen? As far as the game, man, right away, in the first quarter, Travis Kelce touchdown. But then Trevor Lawrence answers right back. Christian Kirk, 7-7. We go into the second quarter. I think this is where he gets hurt. They do kick a field goal, 10-7. And then they get another touchdown with Travis Kelce. This was actually by Chad Henne, leading a 98-yard drive, Mr. Chad Henne, and finishing up with a touchdown to Travis Kelce, 17-7. Jaguars kicking a field goal right before halftime to go into the halftime, 17-10. And then we didn't see too much action in the third quarter outside of a field goal by the Chiefs, 20-10. Patrick Mahomes did come back for the second half and finish the game. Then the fourth quarter, man, it seemed like the whole game, the Chiefs did a good job of like maintaining like a 10-point lead. And anytime the Jaguars could get closer, they would cut it to like 7 or like 3 or whatever. The freaking Chiefs would score again. So in the fourth quarter, had Travis Etienne score a touchdown, 20-17. But then again, right away, the freaking Chiefs are trying the field again and score another touchdown, 27-17. And then at the end, man, the Jaguars kick a field goal, 27-20. They kick an onside kick. They couldn't recover it, and that was pretty much the end of the game. The Jaguars were playing catch up the whole game. Like I said, it was first 17-7. Then it was 27. Like the whole game, the Jaguars just kept adding on their lead. At times, the Jaguars cut it to like a 7 or 3. They got interesting there in the fourth quarter when it was cut to 20-17. But like I said, right away the Chiefs extended the lead right away with another touchdown to make it 27-17. This game, man, the frustration was when it was like late in the game. I believe it was I believe it was 27-17. Trevor Lawrence took a big hit to get a first down. He spit and he got hit in the back pretty good. Just for the next play for freaking Jamal Andrew to freaking fumble a ball. That was the momentum killing, man, because there was still like maybe 7 minutes left in the game. And if they could have scored a touchdown there and they could have make it maybe 27-24. Oh man, then you have a chance. Now you still have to stop on offense, on defense, right? But still, man, after that fumble by freaking Jamal was such a heartbreaker for the Jaguars, man. Then Trevor Lawrence started forcing things. He threw an interception. It just went downhill. I think the Chiefs would have found a way to win this game, even if they would have scored a touchdown there. But I just thought that was such a bad breaker for the Jaguars, that freaking fumble. And man, they couldn't recover from I believe they stopped them, but then in the next possession, I believe that's where Trevor Lawrence threw the interception. But yeah, man, that was such a bad breaker. Even though, like I said, the Chiefs were just anytime they needed a touchdown, they would get it. And like I said, they kept adding to their lead and making sure they at least had a 10-point lead most of the game. They did a good job with that. But let's look at stats here. Trevor Lawrence, 24 for 39, 117 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Travis Etienne, 62 yards, 1 touchdown. As a team, they ran for 144. St. Jones, 5 catches, 83 yards. Christian Kirk, 7 catches, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. Evan Ingram, 5 catches, 31. Marvin Jones, 1 catch. The thing this team is missing is they're missing a number 1. You got some nice pieces here with Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zayden Jones, even Marvin Jones. But they got to go out. Kevin Ridley's going to come back next year. Hopefully he can be that number 1. It's going to be interesting to see what the Jaguars do, and maybe they try to bring in even another wide receiver. They did a good job of reviving Evan Ingram's career this year after having a few bad years with the Giants. They did a good job of reviving his career here with the Jaguars. But maybe now you add Kevin Ridley into this offense along with St. Jones and Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. You might have something. I like the running back, Travis Etienne. So yeah, man. Hopefully, maybe Kevin Ridley is the final piece for this wide receiver core, because it felt like a lot of time in this game, it felt like Trevor Lawrence was looking for a wide receiver to make a play. They would either drop it, or like I said, freaking Jamal having that freaking fumble there in the fourth quarter when they were in the red zone. So they definitely need more support for Trevor Lawrence, man. That's what I feel like. But we'll see if maybe Kevin really could be the answer. I believe he's eligible to be activated on February 15. So that means they will have him for the entire offseason programs to get some chemistry down with Trevor Lawrence. But anyways, let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs, man, Patrick Mahomes, 22 for 30, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That one drive, Chet Hand, man, 5 for 7, 23 yards, 1 touchdown. He led a 98-yard drive, which finished to a touchdown with Travis Kelce. Very impressive, that drive he did, Chad Henne, man. He did a great job in that second quarter. Because that's pretty much what Patrick Mahomes missed the second quarter. He did a great job of holding the fourth down. And like I said, continuing to extend that lead and not letting the Jaguars get close again, man. Isaiah Pacheco, 95 yards. He had a big 39-yard run. Like he just ran like if it's like the pen on it, which that, like I said, that set up another touchdown. But yeah, great game by Isaiah Pacheco, man. As a team, they ran for 144 yards. But yeah, man, Isaiah Pacheco has been a nice piece for them, man, this year. Especially with missing Clyde Edwards-Helaire, man. Travis Kelce, a fucking monster. The Jaguars had no answer for him. 14 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that was pretty much it, man. That was it. There were 27 catches tonight. A combination of Patrick Mahomes, Chad Henne completed 27 passes tonight. 14 of those were to Travis Kelce. That just tells you, like, that's it, man. That is it. He caught 14 of the 27 completions tonight by the Chad Henne and Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else, I mean, Kadarius Toney, 5 catches. But everybody else had either, Juju Smith-Schuster had 2 catches. Everybody else had just 1 catch, man. It was pitch and catch Travis Kelce the whole game, whether it was Patrick Mahomes or Chad Henne, just pitch and catch to frickin' Travis Kelce, man. Unbelievable, man. He was by far the freaking MVP of this game was freaking Travis Kelce, man. And like I said, huge. Also, I thought that was a big run by Isaiah Pacheco to set him up for that another touchdown, man. But yeah, great game, man. Patrick Mahomes coming in. He'll be the story going into the freaking week. Can he play? Can he not play? I'm sure he'll play, but it's definitely, hopefully he's not limited, man, because it's going to get tougher with either the Bengals or the Bills. So we'll see how that goes. But great games. Well, actually, the Eagles game, they just beat the hell out of the Giants. I thought, who knows what's going to happen if Patrick Mahomes doesn't get hurt. Who knows? Maybe this game's a little bit closer. I thought they didn't really miss them as far as productivity. I thought Chad Henne came in there, drove them down 98 yards. I thought they were fine. I think this game could have been very similar if even Mahomes plays the whole game, man. I thought it's almost like it flipped. I thought this was going to be the score of the Giants and Eagles, and the Giants and Eagles score was going to be the score of the Chiefs and Jaguars, right? I thought the Chiefs were going to deliver the ass whooping, and I thought Giants and Eagles were going to be in a tighter game. So it seemed like the 2 games got flip-flopped. The Giants and Eagles ended up being an ass whooping, and the Jaguars and Chiefs ended up kind of being a close game at the end. But yeah, man, we'll see what tomorrow does. Hopefully both games are good tomorrow. But until next time, I am out.